evening, members. Welcome to the Delaray Information Session 2021. I am Tarangediri Surya, the Client Manager for the Delaray community. Thank you very much for your attendance this evening. I will take you, tonight's presentation will be about some information about the Owners Corporation, the structure, what is an Owners Corporation, the purpose of Club Delaray, and a couple of things that we will discuss during the session this evening. What I'll do is now I'll share you my slides and then we'll get down to the presentation this evening. And if you do have any questions, please keep them until the end of the presentation, so that I'm very happy to take your questions and happy to answer them. And we have received some questions from members of the community as well. So we'll present those questions that have come through to us before this evening. Just give me a moment. I'll share my screen. And also, if you do have any questions, please do hit the raise hand button on the below on your screen. And what I can do is I can bring you through the audio, and then you can present your question directly, and I'm happy to answer them for you. So tonight's meeting will be focusing on, these are the points I'll be focusing on. We'll discuss about what Quantum does, the structure of Delaray, club operations, compliance and governance, communication and community, and some frequently asked questions, as I mentioned before, as well as then we'll open up finally for some questions from members of the community. So first, about Quantum. Quantum is an Owners Corporation management and a consultancy company. We do provide Owners Corporation management services for large-scale residential communities such as Delaray. So currently there are over 9,500 lots under the Owners Corporation management with Quantum. Quantum has been operating for about 15 years now, and as I said, our main focus is on large-scale community development such as Delaray. We do. That's our foundation, and we are working on growing our foundation for the large-scale developments such as Delaray. Our role as the owners, so there are two roles that we perform at Delaray. One is as the Owners Corporation Manager for the 3 Owners Corporations within Delaray, and second is the management service provider for Club Delaray, which is a second role for us for the Delaray community. As the Owners Corporation Manager, our tasks are, these are the couple of core tasks that we provide as the Owners Corporation Manager. But if you do wish to get a list of tasks, please do contact our office, and we will be happy to send a copy of our tasks to you. So accounting services normally is on making sure that as the Owners Corporation Manager, we manage the bank accounts on behalf of the Owners Corporation. So the bank accounts are in the name of the Owners Corporation. We manage those trust accounts, making sure we keep a record of all incomes and expenditure of the Owners Corporation, preparing financial statements for the Owners Corporation at the end of the financial year, as well as issuing fees, final fee notices, and special fee notices on behalf of the Owners Corporation. So these fee notices that you receive on a quarterly basis is issued by Quantum, but they are on behalf of the Owners Corporation. They are issued for, as well as Quantum as the Owners Corporation Manager is in charge of making sure that the proper insurances are in place for the Owners Corporation, and also they're renewed on time before they expire, as well as lodging insurance claims preparing and lodging insurance claims with the insurance brokers or the insurer. Another important task of ours as the Owners Corporation Manager is documentation, as we do maintain role of all the lot owners within the Owners Corporation, make a record of the Owners Corporation register, as under the Owners Corporation legislation requires that the Owners Corporation maintain that. We maintain that on behalf of the Owners Corporation, as well as issue Owners Corporation certificates. As Owners Corporation certificate is a document that is required under the legislation to be provided by a lot owner who is selling their lot. That needs to be included in section 32. That is prepared by the owner's corporation manager on behalf of the owner's corporation. Other documentations are general communication that come into Quantum. So we are required to make sure that we hold on to all correspondence to and from Quantum under the record of the owner's corporation, as well as any minutes of the owner's corporations are also formed as a record of the owner's corporation. We need to maintain them, as well as fee notices issued, final fee notices issued, any special fee notices, as well as postal ballots. All these type of documentation are required to be held and saved under the Owners Corporation Act for 7 years, and or as long as the Owners Corporation requires, we are required to hold them on behalf of the Owners Corporation. Another important task of ours is meeting preparation. So as the managers, we do assist the Owners Corporation in preparation of committee meetings, annual general meetings, information sessions, and other meetings as and when required. So Quantum would prepare the documentation, convene, attend, record minutes of the meeting, as well as submit and prepare budgets on behalf of the Owners Corporation for the Owners Corporation Committee to review, as well as for the Owners Corporation members to vote on at the AGM. Another task of ours is guidance. So as the Owners Corporation manager, we provide guidance to members as well as the Owners Corporation in how to perform their duties as well as functions of the Owners Corporation. Those are some of the key functions as the Owners Corporation manager we perform for the Delaray Owners Corporations. The functions that we perform as the club service providers are all similar, but they are in depth as well, because the club operations do have a lot of moving parts. So we handle all the moving parts within Club Delaray as elected. So we are the service manager provider elected by the board of directors to run Club Delaray on behalf of the board. The services that I have put up on the screen is processing memberships as well as booking systems, making sure the club has proper insurance policies, license and operational permits, maintaining of club assets. So we are required to make sure the club assets are maintained, such as serviced, repaired, or if some of those assets after some life, there's a lifespan for these assets, make sure the lifespan of these assets are increased, as well as when they come to the end of that lifespan, make sure they are replaced accordingly as well. Another important task of ours is contractor management. All the contractors that are engaged at Club Delaray are engaged by Quantum United Management on behalf of Club Delaray. So I've seen in the last year when we were in lockdown, there was a lot of contractor communication with us because we had to reduce services and negotiate reduction of services, negotiate savings on behalf of Club Delaray and the Owners Corporation. So we do that contractor management on behalf and make sure that these contractors as well, before they come into Club Delaray to perform a service, that they are licensed, they do have proper insurances with them, so that the Owners Corporation or the club is not liable for any mistakes or any shortcomings of those contractors. Another service that we provide is a very important one is accounting services, as we do provide for the Owners Corporation. Similarly, we do provide the accounting services for Club Delaray, which is making sure the invoices of creditors are paid on time, making sure invoices are issued for the Owners Corporations, making sure function invoices are issued for members as and when required, making sure key orders are processed as and when required. So those are some of the services that we provide. But as I mentioned before, if you would like a detailed list of our services, I'm very happy to provide them to you. Please do not hesitate. Please contact us via email. So those are the services of Club Delaray as Quantum. Now I would focus on the structure of Delaray. Structure of Delaray is different to other owners corporations, as you know. So Delaray has 3 owners corporations. So we'll speak about the 3 owners corporations. We'll speak about how it connects to Club Delaray. Then also we'll go into what's an owners corporation, as well as obligation of an OC member living in an owners corporation. Club Delaray Delaray has 3 owners corporations, which is owners corporations 730320K, which is lots 101 to 847. That is the first Delaray. We call it a Delaray 1 because that's the first parcel of land that was registered. And Delaray 2, it is owners corporation 746481Q. That's Delaray 2. That's lots between 901 to 1660, referred Delaray 2. And the final owners corporation within Delaray is 817648Q, which we know as Delaray 3. Currently, the Club Delaray is situated on common property that belongs to Delaray 1 under a lease agreement where the Club Delaray needs to provide its services to members of that owners corporation under the master lease, as well as a resident lease agreement within the other 2 owners corporations to provide access to members of those owners corporation to the club facilities. We do have Michael from Quantum here as well with us tonight. Michael, if you want to jump in and add to anything, please do during the session.
Okay, Era. Evening, everybody. Taranga. Yeah, look, it is a complex structure to understand. You're probably scratching your head, and it took us a while to work it out. But essentially, it's required to ensure that all the residents of the whole community, even though they're 3 separate legal entities, can all join and access the club as one membership. And from externally, from your perspective, it should be exactly that way. You're all members, you access the club. It's that simple. But underneath, through the way that the project has been developed and through the separate parcels of land, these documents bring all those owners corporations together. So yeah, that's the structure that's in place that Taranga has explained to you.
Perfect. Thanks so much, Michael. I'll go to the next slide. I'll talk about what an owners corporation is. Well, an owners corporation is automatically created when a plan of subdivision is registered with Land Use Victoria. So as I said, there are within Delaray, there are 3 parcels of land. Each parcel of land was registered as its own subdivision. So that's why there is 3 owners corporations within Delaray. So an owners corporation is also a legal entity that combines all the lot owners in that plan of subdivision. So each plan of subdivision's lot owners become the members of that owners of that specific owners corporation. And members who buy or purchasers or buyers who buy into purchase within Delaray or an owners or lot within an owners corporation automatically becomes a member of the owners corporation. There is no way of members opting out of being in an owners corporation. As long as you bought into that plan of subdivision, lot within that plan of subdivision, you become a member of the owners corporation. And the owners corporation does the legislation, the Owners Corporation Act provides the owners corporation guidance and makes the act allows the owners corporation to make its rules. So when those rules are registered with land data, they become legally enforceable, and those rules can be legally enforced where necessary via the tribunal. As well as the legislation passed by the Victorian Parliament is the framework that is available for the owners corporation how to operate, which is the Owners Corporation Act of 2006 and Owners Corporation Regulation of 2018. But there are changes coming to the Owners Corporation Act from the 1st of December this year. A few changes that are coming in. So the Owners Corporation Act will be called the Owners Corporation Amendments Act 2021 when it comes to effect on the 1st of December. Now we look at the obligations of a lot owner who lives within an owner's corporation. There are two main obligations of a lot owner. First one is a financial obligation. The financial obligation of the lot owner is to pay their share of owner's corporation fees as per the budget that's been approved at the AGM, which is the owner's corporation fee goes towards administer as well as manage the owner's corporation, as well as to pay for the owner's corporation's agreements and services. The second one would be legal obligation. Legal obligation is where the members within the owner's corporation are required to comply with the legislation, owner's corporation rules, as well as design guidelines. As mentioned before, when an owner's corporation rules are registered with land data, they become a registered rules, and those registered rules are enforceable by the owner's corporation, as they've been when you would have purchased into Delaray, or when a lot owner purchases into Delaray, you would have got in the section 32, this document would have been included, as well as rules, as well as the guidelines. As you assign as a lot owner who has signed on that dotted line on that section 32, agreeing to all these terms and conditions, every lot owner is required and must adhere to these rules and guidelines.
So, Thuranga, there's just been a question while you've been speaking about what are the changes to the Owners Corporation legislation. Look, they're extensive. There's a big raft of changes, sort of booklet here. There's 77 pages of changes to the Act. We're finalising. We're doing some presentations to our team internally, and can make a paper available to owners if they wish. There'll be a large number of changes. Nothing major or too concerning, but just some tidying up and refinement of a number of areas. So we won't go through them tonight. It's probably an hour on its own, but we can make a document available if you just reach out to Thuranga, and we can send you a summary of the changes and indeed a link to the entire document if you wanted to look at that. So,
thank you, Michael. Next, we'll look at club operations. The purpose of Club Delaray. We'll discuss about purpose of Club Delaray, who operates Club Delaray, as well as the types of membership that's available at Club Delaray. As you know, the main purpose of Club Delaray is to provide recreation facilities to the members of the Owners Corporation and their tenants. So the members of the Owners Corporation, the facilities are only exclusively available for the residents within Delaray, not for any external residents. They're only for members within Delaray. The recreational facilities include pools, gym, function room, tennis court, and the parents room. Those are the facilities that are currently available at Delaray for members, and those are exclusive, as mentioned, the exclusive use for the members within Delaray. Who operates Club Delaray? So Club Delaray is operated by a board of directors. The board of directors currently comprise of three board of directors from Villawood, who represents the current board of directors at Delaray. So this board of directors will represent the Club Delaray board until the project is completed. Once the project has been completed, this board of directors will step down, and then the members of the three owners corporation can elect their own board to represent Club Delaray, and who will take in charge of Club Delaray's operations, as well as making sure that you make operations, making sure that you decide and make sure the Club Delaray runs as in line with its constitution.
Yeah. So just to add to that, Thuranga, also what Villawood has flagged already, Rory, probably most of you know, the owner of Villawood, that we're looking to bring members on as observers at this point, so that the members can start to understand the operations of the board. So they'll be chosen from the residents representative group. So Thurunga touched on it earlier, or it's coming up later. Each owners corporation has an elected committee, which they have to have. And then from those committees, we've got a resident working group or representative group, and that represents all of the owners, and they raise any issues that haven't been resolved by us or come up outside from other residents they'd like to table with us formally through that residents group. We work through and meet with them and work through any discussions or challenges that they might have or any questions they've got and answer those. And from those residents group, we've gone extensively through these structures and information. They'll choose observers from that group who will start to sit in and attend the board meetings, and likely from next year, so they can start to understand that the operations and the intricacies of the operating board. So that will be a gradual transition. And then, like Thurunga said, at that point later on the project, it will transition to a fully operational board of resident members, essentially.
Thanks very much, Michael. The three memberships that are available at the club is the foundation member, owner member, and resident member. So the owner members are members who's purchased lots within the Delaray three owners corporations, and their name is on the title of the lot. And the resident members are their house members within that household or their tenants. Large majority, all the members within Club Delaray belong to those two groups. The founding member is just which is Villawood, is just one founding member within the project. Next slide is on our governance and compliance. Under governance and compliance, basically it's about owners corporation meetings, committees, as well as compliance. So as you know, your AGMs are coming up next week. An AGM is every owners corporation within Delaray. The three owners corporations within Delaray are required to hold its own AGM every year after the financial year has ended. So the financial year for the Delaray owners corporations are 1st of July to 30th of June each year. And at the AGM, there are different motions put forward, such as approving the budget of the owners corporation for the next financial year, accepting the financials for the previous financial year, as well as electing a committee to represent the owners until the end of that financial year or until the next committee next AGM. So those are some of the key motions that we put forward to members at the AGM, and they are very important. They are required by the Owners Corporation Act that these motions be put forward at each AGM to be carried forward, and so that the Owners Corporation can operate within the guidelines of the Owners Corporation Act and regulations. At every AGM, a committee must be elected. So committee members must be lot owners who are from the owners who's within that owners corporation, and members hold office until a new committee is elected at the next AGM. So members, some of the duties of the committee members are financial management, enforcing of rules, attending committee meetings, as well as handling of complaints. Handling of complaints, just focus on that as a committee member. There are complaints that come into the owners corp or grievances that come into the owners corporation. As the owners corporation manager, we cannot make that decision on behalf of the owners corporation or grievances. The owners corporation committee would need to come together with the specific person who has the grievance and then come to a resolution or find a resolution, attend a meeting to find a resolution for those grievances. But Quantum United Management, as your OC manager, will facilitate those meetings and will assist the committee members with those meetings. Another one I would focus is on enforcing of rules. As at every AGM, a committee is selected. The committee will be selected to represent all the lot owners within the owners corporation. So you will be the face of the owners corporation, or you'll be all the decisions made on behalf of the owners corporation is by the committee. So as the decision makers of the owners corporation, you are required to enforce the owners corporation rules equally and fairly among all lot owners within the community.
So Thurunga, just to add to that, around the handling of complaints that Thurunga talked about to go to the committee, so that's only the very sort of high level issues. Clearly our team gets phone calls and emails all the time. We work through and answer all the questions and work through information with owners, and that's all resolved. Formal complaints for the committee is just where there's a written dispute resolution form that's lodged, which is a specific form from the Consumer Affairs website. There's specific grievance meetings around, breaches of rules and guidelines. That's when it's referred to the committee. That's right, Thurunga, isn't it? The majority of them, I don't think one's gone to a committee in the last couple of years at all. To be honest, hasn't been many at all. So all of them, any questions come through to us and they're all addressed by our team, essentially. Would that be right, Thurunga?
That's correct, yeah. We have not received any grievance notice from any lot or any official complaint, formal complaints lodged behalf of the owners corporation.
Yeah, so it's not if someone's upset about something that I know all go to the committee, just to clarify that. Most of them, they're all resolved by our team, and it's only formal breaches. If you go to VCAT, if there's a breach of the rules or guidelines where there's a process to go to VCAT, the legislation says, regardless of who's managing, or the owners corporation has to have a dispute resolution process they have to run before they come to VCAT. So that handling complaints is a formal duty that the legislation puts on a committee that they have to do before they can make application to VCAT. And that's just about saying, look, we don't want every little small complaint coming through to VCAT. Each owners corporation has to make an effort to have a grievance meeting and go through a dispute resolution process. And ideally, they look to resolve it themselves. And if you've demonstrated that and you haven't resolved it, then you're allowed to make application for VCAT. Otherwise, the application just be rejected. So,
thank you very much, Michael.
Pleasure.
Next, we'll go on to compliance management. As you know, Quantum has been engaged by the owners corporation to carry out compliance inspections within the community, within the Delaray 3 owners corporation, within the Delaray 3 owners corporations. So there are two parts for the compliance management. So first part is the registered owners corporation rules, compliance, non-compliance against the OC rules. The second part is the design guidelines, which is a majority of our compliance matters currently are in non-compliance of design guidelines. As mentioned before, as Delaray's this design guidelines, members are required to adhere to these design guidelines when constructing their home at Delaray. So there's a design review panel who approves designs put forward by your builder or by lot owners before a house can be constructed or before landscaping can be installed. So it is utmost important that all lot owners within Delaray do have constructed their houses in line with the approved plans or the design guidelines, and also install their landscaping in line with the design guidelines or the approved plans. So these are the two main governing documents within Delaray, and members are required to adhere to these. And if there is non-compliance to these guidelines or the rules, our members will be issued a compliance notice and a compliance process will be commenced by Quantum, and we will work with lot owners in order to resolve these matters before it becomes a grievance matter which needs to go to a committee. But Quantum will be working on the process to resolve these matters before.
Yeah, so just in addition to that, Thurunga, also, I mean, the key requirement of compliance for you as owners is your contract of sale. I mean, that's a binding legal document. There's conditions in there that talk about compliance with the design guidelines. There's restrictive covenants lodged on each title to comply with those design guidelines. So they're a high level above owners corporation. They're a contractual legal binding agreement for owners. They need to comply with the design guidelines. through the contract that you've got and through the restrictive covenant that's lodged on the titles office. I mean, the conveyancers or solicitors would have raised that to your attention when there's ever a restrictive covenant, like there is at Delaray around design guideline requirements. Then they would have brought that to your attention. And there's also the owners corporation, which has a function as well. But so there's three tiers, I guess, of legal obligations on owners around that compliance.
Thank you, Michael. Our next slide is on our communication and community. So our there are a few ways that we communicate with our lot owners and members within the owners corporation. First one is via the website. So we do have a Delaray community website. All information relating to the owners corporation and Club Delaray are available on the website. And we do regularly communicate with members via e-bulletins. We provide updates about the club, about the owners corporations via e-bulletins, as well as information sessions. Similar to this, we do provide every year, we do carry out one information session, so that, as you know, there are a lot of new members within the owners corporation. There's a lot of new members buying into the owners corporation. These information sessions assist new owners in understanding what an owners corporation is, what the responsibilities are, and all the questions that they might have with regards to an owners living in an owners corporation. So these are very helpful information sessions specifically to new members of the owners corporation or members who have not attended previous information sessions that we have put together.
And what's useful as well, these sessions are recorded, and obviously not everyone can make it, but these can be watched back. You know, we link them in the information letters and information documentation, so that all new purchasers can also watch these back and learn the same information rather than having to wait for the 1 year event. Which is a great use of the platform online. We can record them, these info sessions, and make them available to purchasers or other owners indeed who'd like to learn more information. And Taranga, a little secret out, we're looking to transition the website to a mobile application. So early next year, we'll keep an eye on that. We're going to transition to a specific mobile app for the Delaray community from the web. There'll also be a web platform, but the main source of information will be an app. It's a lot quicker and easier for you to instantly get access to the information, and all that content will be reflected on a website platform as well. I'm sort of let that little secret out of the bag. Sorry about that.
No, that's right, Michael.
Might have been saving it for later. Well, I don't know.
That's exciting news for us, which is a very it's a smooth platform. It's very easy to use, user friendly. I think our members will within the community will love that platform. And talking about community, we do hold community events. Club Delaray does hold community events on behalf of the members. So some of the events last year has been online due to the restrictions. Due to restrictions. So those events were like Easter coloring competition, Halloween photo competition, but we were able to host 2 events that were very successful last year and this year, which is the Christmas event. A physical event was held, as well as the Easter 2021 was held, which is a very successful event in April. Further, we do have classes that we carry out at Club Delaray, such as kids art classes that take place. We do have Zumba classes for adults and kids, gym sessions, and there are other paper services at Delaray as well for members of the community, such as the tennis lessons that take place on a Friday afternoon. So those we come to the end of our presentation, but now I'll provide some questions that have come through to us, or regular questions that are asked from us. These questions come to us on a regular basis. So I'm going to share with you some of these questions that come through to us. So the first question that one of the main questions is that if I do not use the club, do I still need to pay the fees? Yes, you need to pay the fees, because as mentioned earlier, as soon as you buy into an owners corporation, a lot within an owners corporation, you become a member of the owners corporation, and that member of the owners corporation is required to contribute their share in line with the approved owners corporation budget. So a member within owners corporation cannot forego paying owners corporation fees, they are required by law to pay the owners corporation fees. What does my owners corporation fee go towards? So the owners corporation fee goes towards 10% of the owners corporation goes towards management of the owners corporation, which is management fee for Quantum United as the owners corporation manager. Another cost would be insurance for the owners corporation, compliance management costs, meeting costs. So those are that 10% of the cost, and 90% of your owners corporation fee go towards Club Delaray for the operations of Club Delaray. My house has not been built yet. Should I still pay the fees? Yes, similar to the first one. So as soon as you buy within an owners corporation, you are required to pay your owners corporation fees from day one. Why is my nature strip not being mowed? Yes, we do get this question a lot. The nature strips within Delaray, they are responsibility of the adjoining lot owner. The owners corporation fees does not go towards maintenance of nature strips other than the nature strips right adjoining the clubhouse. Rest of residential nature strips should be our responsibility of the lot owner in line with the council guidelines.
Yeah, so that's land owned by council, isn't it, Turunga? And there's local laws covering the responsibility for owners, like a normal suburb, essentially, that the owner adjacent to the nature is responsible to maintain that. Yep.
And who is responsible for monitoring commercial vehicles parked within Delaray? Coming to the council question as well, Michael, the roadways within Delaray, roadways, nature strips, footpaths, all those assets within Delaray are council-owned assets. So, or any vehicle that is parked on those areas are the responsibility of the council to monitor. The owners corporation rules does not affect those areas. The owners corporation cannot put rules on or monitor rules on council areas. The OC rules only apply for the OC areas, which are the block of land or the lot, as well as common property within the owners corporation. Does not apply on public property, which is commercial vehicles parked within Delaray. If they on a roadway, nature strip park, the council need to involve in monitoring and enforcing those council rules and laws. Another question is that grass and weeds in the Delaray Park is overgrown. Why is the OC not maintaining or attending to them? So Delaray Park does belong to the council as well. So Delaray Park is not a part of the owners corporation, and the council is also required. The council is the ultimate responsibility falls on the council to maintain the Delaray Park, the park that's next to Club Delaray. And why did I receive a compliance notice even after my landscaping has been completed? Okay, this is a regular question that's asked from our compliance team. The reason that a lot owner would receive a compliance notice even though their landscaping has been completed or is beautifully presented, there's only one reason. The reason is that the landscaping may have not been completed in line with the design guideline requirements. So the design guidelines has different requirements for the front landscaping, such as a feature tree, lawn, some plants. So those are main items that are required under the design guidelines. When these features are missing in your landscaping, then the owners corporation compliance team will issue you a compliance notice, even though it's beautifully presented, but it is not in line with the design guidelines or the approved plans for that specific lot. What happens if I do not pay my fees by the due date? So if a lot owner does not pay the fees or by the due date, there's interest starts occurring on the outstanding fees until the fees is paid in full. So the interest is, just want to make clear that the interest is not charged by Quantum United Management. The interest is charged by the owners corporation as per the motions passed at the AGM and the Owners Corporation Act. So the interest income that comes in is an income to the owners corporation, and those interest is charged, as mentioned, is charged by the owners corporation for as a deterrent, for lot owners for not pay, deterrent from avoiding paying fees on time. As many of you know, most 90% of the lot owners do pay the owners corporation fees on time. It is unfair on lot owners who do pay their fees on time to have other lot owners not paying their fees on time and getting away without any penalty. So that's the penalty the Owners Corporation Act has suggested for lot owners to charge interest on outstanding fees until they're paid in full. And the next question is, my neighbor keeps parking on the nature strip. Who can we report this to? So as mentioned earlier, nature strips belongs to the belongs to KC City Council. So members within the community are required to report them to the council. Easiest way to report matters to the council is via using Snap Sensol app, and the council will normally respond to them quickly. But as you know, parking is a very big problem, not only within Delaray, within all communities within Australia. So if we try to report as much as possible to the council, and if you keep reporting the similar vehicle that is on there, council will definitely one day attend to it. But you can't expect the council, we can't expect the council to attend to them straight away, because it is not under our control to get the council to attend. It is council attend according to their time and availability of their officers. So it may take some time, but if they do notice some vehicles that are parked regularly on nature strips, we do ask members to keep reporting them to the council as much as possible, so that council will take note of these serious matters and attend to them. Those are the main questions that have come through to us. Another question that came through with the registration was that where does the fee go other than the club management of the club? The fees, the question was, where does the owners corporation fee go other than the owners club Delaray? Owners Corp, as mentioned, there's only two portions for the owners corporation fees, that goes for the management and club Delaray. There's no other applications of the owners corporation fee. It does not go to anything else other than those two portions.
Dean has submitted a question as well, just that I'll read through. On compliance with the design guidelines, does Quantum work with the design assessment panel on this? We don't. The design assessment panel is an independent architect who sits on this panel, and they receive all the plans and assess and review and approve the plans. We don't see those plans. Dean talks about wanting to avoid a situation where the plans are signed off, but Quantum issues a compliance notice because of a different interpretation on compliance of the plans. Look, it's not normal that would happen. The Quantum doesn't look at architectural design controls with houses, where we're looking at more maintenance and smaller matters that wouldn't normally conflict with the plans. I'm not sure if you want to add to that, Thuranga, that question.
Definitely, yeah. Dean, we do not look at architectural. The focus of the compliance team and the engagement of the scope of works for the compliance team is that we carry out compliance inspections on external elements that are stated in the design guidelines, as well as landscaping. Those are two main elements that we look at when we do compliance. External elements can consist of television antennas or aerials, satellite dishes. So external air conditioning units installed on that are visible by the public. So those are the ones that we look at, as well as landscaping elements such as mentioned feature trees, lawn, number of plants. So those are the ones that we look at, because Quantum, our team does not specialize in architectural side of it, but we are just general elements that are required under the design guidelines. So anything that's because every house that is being built is signed off by the design review panel before it's on the time of handover to say it is compliant with the architectural design. But but the rest of them, after it's been constructed, then it falls on to quantum compliance team to manage the small elements of compliance.
And look, if by chance an owner's getting a breach notice from us for something they've already got their approved on their plans, that shouldn't be the case, but clearly just raise that information with our team and we'll work through that.
Yes, definitely. If, as mentioned, because we do not have direct access to those approved plans, what we do is if we do breach a lot owner for a specific element, but we think is not in line with the design guidelines, we normally go back to the town architect or the developer and ask for a copy of the approved plans. When it comes across, then we compare those two plan, the breach as well as the plan. And if that breach has been raised incorrectly, we do close that breach straight away and issue a lot of information, so confirming the breach was opened up in error, and those matters should be closed and there's nothing to attend anymore. Any other questions, Michael?
No, there's no other questions, no.
Perfect. If members do not have any questions, for any questions further, we will end our information session for tonight. But if you do have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact our team. We're always there to assist you. We're just an email away, and if you do, and also a phone call away. Thank you very much, members, for attending tonight. Hope to see you at the 8th AGM that's coming up next week. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone, for your attendance. Good night.
Good night.